Basically, thank you very much. There's a lot of information that gets told that isn't always shared. And so what I will do at the end of this time, I will share a document with you that has all the links for everything, all my resources, including the brainstorming page that we're doing there that you just put your name on, okay? That way you will continue to have access to the information. All right, if there are no other questions, then Zahur, you have a quick question so we can begin. Zahur? No, I can't hear you. You are muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, yes, madam. I cannot
see you.
list. Cannot add my name. I am in the group, but I cannot add. I am using mobile. I don't know where to go.
See, I'm the last in the group. You tell me your name, I'll add it. Just tell me your club. I will add it. What is your club name?
Pakistan Community Toastmaster. Pakistan Community Toastmaster.
Spell it out.
Pakistan.
PAKA.
In short, PACT. PACT. PACT.
PACT.
CT.
Okay. PACT. Huh. PACT
Yeah, PACT.
club.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Asha.
Now your name. Now your name.
All right.
Zahur Ahmad.
Okay,
Zahur
please.
Zahur,
excuse me. Let's have you can put this into the chat, please. Put it into the chat. You do not need to do this. We have to get started.
Anyway,
There's so much information to cover.
It's okay.
Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it immensely, Dr. Asha. Thank you so much.
So then please.
Okay, let me have everybody mute now and we will begin. So today we are going to talk about Vice President Education, or VPE. And Shaquille, thank you for being my moderator. And today I would just like to talk to you about what it is that we're gonna go over, give you a quick idea. We're gonna talk about what the VPE role is, the responsibilities, and then we're gonna talk about resources. And so basically the objectives that we have for the session today is to help you identify what is your role in the club executive committee, how you can fulfill your responsibilities, and help you to find resources that can help you to do that. First of all, who can tell me, what does the VPE role involve? What would you say is the essence of that VPE role? You can go ahead and put your answer in the chat, please. What is the essence of the VPE role? What do you think?
To look after the education goals of the club.
Okay, to look after the educational goals of the club, to take care of the progress. Pardon me?
To make the agenda for every meeting.
Okay, yep, members development, managing education, help members complete their
Make sure
pathways.
all members are participating correctly.
Yes.
Mentoring a program.
Arrange mentors. Yeah, there's so many things involved in this role, isn't there?
Contests.
Contests.
About pathways.
Analyzing the problems
Preparing
of members.
contests.
Okay,
VP is
All
one
the
of
members enrolled in pathways.
You're worse than my students, guys. Come on.
VP is one of the base camp manager, so we need to track all the members' achievements and the levels,
Yes.
and we need to approve and we have to motivate.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So many things that we are doing. Basically, there's two primary roles that you need to do. And the first one is to help your members understand the educational system and to help them go through the educational system. And then the second one is basically to know what your members' goals are and to help them achieve them. Those are the two primary responsibilities of the VPE. Now, let's move forward. We're going to look at the responsibilities in terms of the club meeting, outside the club meeting, and in the executive committee. All right? So first of all, before club meetings, you need to prepare for each meeting, of course. And then you have upon the arrival and during the club meetings. Okay, so let's look at before club meetings. Here we are. It says we have to review the scheduled roles. We have to offer support to the Toastmaster of the day, or the TMOD, and we have to schedule educational sessions. Now, when we think about the role that we play, okay, I'm going to switch now. Let's go back to our document, our brainstorming session, okay? What do you think are the responsibilities of the VPE? Go ahead and write what you think they are in question number 1, next to your name. There are many. Outside of these 2 goals, now we're talking about responsibilities. Manage educational needs of the members. Make sure of complete participation. Arrange for the meeting rules. Good.
You have to enroll all of them in the pathways.
Yes, it's really important that we have new members enrolled. Yep, go ahead and write that down, please, next to your name.
And we have to give them a introduction to pathways, because none of them know what is pathways.
Yes,
Of course
right.
not. Even we have, for example, in Active Minds, which is my home club, we have a member now who has just reinstated with us after 9 years of being out of Toastmasters. So he is not familiar at all with pathways because it was a completely different educational program at that time. And so
Correct.
actually, I'm just going to make him attend a new members orientation and do it in that way. So yeah, we definitely need to have the role players. We need to help members achieve their goals. We need to find mentors. Good. We need to make the agendas. Yep. We manage all the educational need, guiding members. Excellent. Okay. Now, going back to our PowerPoint. Whoops. So, in addition to reviewing scheduled roles and making sure that everybody's there. Now, we sometimes, not only do we need to find people to take the roles, but we have to teach them what to do for those roles. And I actually forgot to add it in here, but if you are interested in scripts for each of the meeting roles, I can get those to you as well. And you can just add your email, or I'll add it to the final thing. So we also need to have educational sessions periodically throughout the year. We need to set up educational sessions. Maybe we have a lot of new members and they don't know how to do evaluations. So Evaluate to Motivate, that presentation from the Better Speaker series is going to help you, or the Better Club series. All of these things are there. And you want to make sure that the Successful Club series is actually being presented this is an older program, but it goes over everything, how to deal with your fear of public speaking, how to evaluate, how to start a speech, how to write a speech. Could I get you please to mute your microphone? Thank you, everybody. And then we also need, as Vice President Education, we need to notify the club president of any educational awards that are taking place, any changes to the agendas, any kind of special events or meetings. Okay, moderator, could you please make sure that that person is muted? When we arrive at, thank you so much. When we arrive at the club meetings, we want to make sure that the people who have been assigned the roles are already there and that they're prepared. And if they are not, if they don't show up at the beginning of the meeting and you haven't heard from them, you have to immediately be able to assign somebody else or take that role yourself. Also, you want to remind members to select an evaluator. They should already have done that prior to the meeting, but if they haven't, you can do that. And assist the Toastmaster in anything that they need to get set up. You want to greet guests and inform the topics masters of any guests who are willing to participate, because as you are greeting the guests, you want to ask them, hi, you would tell them, hi, I'm Sandy, the Vice President of Education for this club. Welcome to our club. I'd like to know if you're interested in speaking at all during the club meeting today. And if they are, great. And if they aren't, you can just say, I encourage you to do so, but I won't push you, right? And some people they respond well to being pushed, and others, it just pushes them away instead. So we have to be very careful with new people entering. Now, during the club meeting, you want to make sure that you are getting all of the information from all the speakers and evaluators or the role players, if they are meeting any of the requirements that are for the educational program. So some clubs will not put that information into the agenda. We at Active Minds, we like to put that information right there in the agenda ahead of time so that it's clear already ahead of time, and the evaluator knows what the project is and all of the things that are there. And it's so easy to go back and with looking at the agendas to double check if you missed adding it to your Excel sheet. So for example, we find out who is giving the presentation, what is the title of their presentation, what is their path, and what project it is in the path. And then who is the evaluator, and all that stuff we put in the timing, and we put all that stuff right there on the agenda. It makes it so easy to go back and keep track of that information if you were maybe rushed at the time and didn't get it written ahead of time. And then we used to have to fill out award applications. I thought they had updated this PowerPoint, but I guess they didn't. And we want to make sure that we are recognizing members' achievements, because one of the ways to encourage members to stay in a club and to encourage other people to come is to give that recognition. People work hard, and if you ignore their achievements, they kind of start to feel, well, why should I even bother? Therefore, it's important to keep a good track record of everybody's achievements, and then to give that recognition in the club meetings. And, you can do something like a standing ovation for somebody who's doing their icebreaker speech. You can give a certificate for them completing level 1 or whatever level they're doing, okay? Because it comes up on the Toastmasters International website. You also need to preside over the meeting when necessary. as the second officer in rank, if the president for any reason cannot be there, it falls to the vice president education to take over the meeting. And of course, you want to answer educational program and speech contest questions for your members. Now, when we're talking about outside the club meeting, you want to plan your club meetings. You want to do this well ahead of time. Promote participation in the education program. And of course, as we were talking about, in order to do that, people have to know what that education program is. It's a good thing you're starting off at the beginning of the year. Maybe you have new members, maybe you have old members, but honestly, a lot of people, if they haven't been very active in the club in terms of education, it's a great idea to have somebody from the XCOM, could be you, could be another member of the XCOM, or even a guest speaker, come in and do a project on a presentation on the Pathways program. If you want to do it in the orientation, that is great, but sometimes you will find that a lot of our members, even older members, they forget how to do things. And so it's a good review. But again, it depends where your club members are, whether you're going to need a full program or whether you'll just need a review thing. When we had a lot of people near the beginning of the Pathways program not signing up, what I did was we just did an educational program and I had everybody get online at the same time and do the sign up together. And that worked really great and had a very hands-on presentation workshop where they could ask questions and do that. And I personally find that that's great. You want to get people actually into the system, using it, get their hands on it, because when they're familiar with it, they are more likely to continue using it. And if they're feeling uncomfortable with the system, then probably they're not going to. And you may find that that person just keeps putting off and putting off and putting off their things. And maybe they're too embarrassed or shy to ask for help. All right. So it's your job as VPE to say, hey, I noticed you haven't been, doing any speeches lately. What's going on? Is there something I can help you with? Are you familiar with the system? Is there something there that you need help with? Can I show it to you? Would you like to, set an appointment? And even you can do a Zoom meeting and get on and show them, and they can walk through it while you're doing it with them. This is very helpful. All right. One of the other responsibilities is to orient new members. And again, this is in combination with the Vice President of Membership. The VPE and the VPM work together to create the orientation for the new members and to make sure that you have all of the components there that are necessary for an orientation. And there are full PowerPoints available on the Toastmasters website for orientation. You basically want to go over the educational program. You want to say what is the purpose of Toastmasters. You want to introduce the XCOM roles to them, introduce the meeting roles to them, and like how do you go about recognizing things, and get them with their mentors. The best thing is to have their mentors there with them at the orientation and get them to meet their mentors and talk to each other, exchange information, talk about what their responsibilities are as a mentee and a mentor, so that both sides.
I apologize for that interruptions. Is there any presentation is shared, or it just it is because
Pardon me?
Is there any presentation is shared?
You can't see my presentation?
Yes,
No,
yes,
it's not.
presentation screen is not there.
I thought you're only talking.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Yes,
I was
fine.
sending
Thank you.
we just thought you're talking. Box, but you weren't able to see it.
You're all too polite.
Yeah, fine, it's okay. It's a teamwork.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can see it now.
Oh, okay. Why didn't it show? That's so
please
strange.
go ahead.
Okay, you can see it now?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Yes.
fabulous. My apologies. All right, that's much better. Okie dokie. So again, after orienting new members, you want to encourage new members to participate. And basically, you have to deal with and recognize and be compassionate about the fact that most people are afraid to get up and speak in public. So you want to encourage them to do little things. Maybe you can do the timer's role. Even sometimes with the timer's role, they don't have to show themselves so much. It's just a simple thing, holding up the card if you're in person, or, you know, doing it on Zoom. But encourage them bit by bit to do more in the program. You also need to make sure that all new members have a mentor, and actually anybody who is in level 1 should have a mentor. You also need to attend club executive committee meetings. Now that depends, how often that is, depends on your club president. Generally, the minimum you need to do that is once every 2 months. A lot of clubs do it before every single meeting. Other clubs do it once a month. And then district council meetings happen twice a year. And of course, during the voting for district council and also for the international convention, you can also, you also have a vote, every club does. So you would need to, if you are not able to attend, then you need to assign a proxy. And they've just updated the system on Toastmasters International so that you can have all that information there without all of the problems. All right, now let's go back to our Google Doc. And let's go to question number 2. All right, so how does your club encourage members to sign up for meeting roles? I'd like you to write down what you do, or maybe it's just your own ideas, because this will pool information and everybody may have ideas that can help you out. Let's help each other out. Make sure you're doing it in the second column now. Yeah, over here. There we go. Question number 2. It's technically the third column. Okay. New question area. Okay. Knowing what members need. How can you find out what members need? Did you know that there is a members profile form that you can use? And there are even needs analysis that you can use, and they're there from Toastmasters International. I will share it with you, the form for that. Please, our moderator has just shared the attendance log. If you can make sure that you sign it, please. He has shared it in the chat. Encouraging the best role player awards, giving proper prior awareness to create interest on the roles. Yeah, you know, sometimes it's, you know, I definitely believe and live in Ralph C. Smedley's idea that we learn best in moments of enjoyment. So do something fun. Make a presentation where you're doing a role and make it fun. What can the Toastmaster of the day do to make it fun? If it's, for example, if it's Valentine's Day or it's near Valentine's Day, well, what can you do? Easy. You can, go somewhere like what we used to do with in-person meetings. We'd go over to the 100 Fill store and get these little heart candles or little something cute, just anything, and then come up with a creative, fun activity that you can do. It makes it fun for the members. And when members are having fun, they are going to continue coming to your meetings. How do you encourage them to take up the roles? That's what I want you to do, to tell me. Don't just encourage them. How? How will you encourage them? You prepare an Excel file that they can fill it out. Yep. After a week, if nobody is signing up, I call them personally. Good. Excellent. Sometimes it comes down to begging. Please take the role. It's okay. All right. You come in front, take up some role, encourage other members to take up that role. Good one, Clifford. By showcasing themselves as examples and role models. Yes, if you are there and are taking roles, you can shift the role that you are taking in, different meetings and show people modeling this role and how this role is supposed to be done. And not just you, other senior Toastmasters in your club. Okay, good one. One-to-one communication. Yep. Highlighting the benefit of each role, explaining the value of each role and how they can learn. Yeah, because every single role, it may seem silly, but actually when you do them and you get doing them frequently enough, you realize that you are learning all kinds of things, hands-on learning, and explaining the advantages. Very good. Okay, let's go back to, let me make sure that I am sharing. Okay, good. All right, so when you are outside of the club meetings, you are also responsible for being a base camp manager. You are one of the 3 base camp managers in the club. We have president, vice president education, and we have secretary. So you need to make sure if a member has submitted their progress, maybe they finished level 1, level 2, whatever their level is, that you approve it on Basecamp. And not only do you approve it on Basecamp, but you have to enter that award into the system on Toastmasters International on Club Central. Okay. Also, arrange for your replacement or assistance. My hearty suggestion to you, create a committee. Create a committee that is going to help you do all of the things that need to be done. What this does, first of all, you learn how to delegate. You involve more members of the club, and you also get people working and learning about what's going on in the XCOM and how to do the different things. And then you can look at those people who are in your committee and basically prime somebody to be taking over for you in the following Toastmaster year. This is really important. Now, if, for example, you can't make it to a meeting, you have to make sure that you have somebody else in the XCOM that is taking your place and making sure that all of the roles, the responsibilities that you need to do are going to be taken care of. Okay, So when we are looking at the executive committee, every single executive officer should prepare and present a report to the executive committee. For the VPE, you need to report about the educational program, what's happening with the district distinguished club program points, what's happening with members' achievements, and any information on upcoming the speech contest, because you are responsible for organizing the speech contest. So when we're looking at this, how are you going to fulfill these responsibilities? When will you do it? Who will you involve, and what will you need to do? Now, I have, one second, let me pull up a different document. Moderator, can you put the attendance link there again? It's in the chat. The attendance form is there in the chat. And now in the chat, I am also adding a new form. All right, and I will share it on. Yeah. Okay, so now this form is only view. It's a view only form, but if you want to take it for yourself and save it as an Excel sheet, or you can leave it as a Google sheet, it's completely up to you. Basically, all you have to do is click on here, click on file, make a copy, and it's yours, okay? All right, now, this document is fantastic. You want to start up here with the club name at the very top. And let me reduce the size just a bit, to 75%. Okay, so I have, this is set up for 22-23. And basically you can, do I have it all the way? This is your meeting agendas. Okay, so you can set the themes ahead of time for your meetings. What is the date of the meeting? And what is the meeting number? Then for your roles, you can have all these different roles. You can have the Toastmaster of the day, the table topics master, general evaluator, tech moderator if you're online or hybrid. You can have I put up to 6 speakers there for you. If you wanted to do like a marathon, you need at least 6 speakers to do a marathon. And then of course your evaluators, you can have your timer, grammarian, counter. We have this 2 minutes of PMI where our Vice President of Education from last year, DTM Arij Jaffer, would not every single meeting, but every other meeting, she would give a 2-minute speech on just what do you know about Toastmasters International? And she would pick a particular thing and she would talk about it to make sure that our members were, were being briefed and that they knew what was going on. Now, these last 2, I've put them there. If you're holding a workshop, you can add in the workshop presenter and the workshop topic, the workshop name, sorry, that should have been pink as well. Okay, so on this page, that's what this is for. It's for keeping track of the meetings. On the second sheet, now we are talking about the awards that you can give during the meetings. Again, what is the meeting date and the meeting number? What is the meeting theme? We've got best speaker, evaluator, table topic evaluator. If you do that, not everybody does. best table topic speaker, if you have a presenter or a keynote speaker for a special event, and you can even have a game master if you want to. So then keeping track of members, awards, and education is here. So you want to put in all the names of the members of everybody in your club. What path are they on? And then follow up with their projects, okay? Adding in the dates of their projects and making sure that they have done them. And there, so I've got that for pathways 1, 2, 3, moving on, level 4, level 5. And then here, this is what we need for DTM. So it helps you to keep track and help out your members to know, what do they need to do? Did they complete 2 learning paths? Did they serve as a club officer for 12 months? All of the things that they have to do in order to achieve their Distinguished Toastmaster award. And then also I put in here club mentors. So you may have maybe 8 senior members that you prefer to have as mentors, and then you can assign more than one mentee for each mentor. And it helps you to keep track of that. And then finally, the last sheet is about the DCP points for the club. And so it's really easy. These are, you as VPE are responsible for 6 out of the 10 points for the club DCP. All right, and here we are. We need 4 level 1 awards. So you can see your expected, this is your plan here. Okay, so who do you expect to get level 1? And then here is who actually achieved it. So you've got 4 people. Okay, and you just, you write their names. You can write their dates, the dates that they did it, or it's up to you how much information you want to add there. Then the level 2 awards, you only need 2 people. And again, what is your plan? Who do you expect to do this? And you have to have another 2 level 2 awards and 1 level 3 award. 2 level 3 awards and 1 level 4 and 1 level 5. Okay, so this sheet is fantastic. I cannot, I got this from DTM Arij Jaffer. It's unbelievable. It is like the master tool for the Vice President of Education. Okay, so again, if you want this for yourself, click over here on File and make a copy and it's yours, okay? Because you cannot write on this document. This is a master template. All right, good. Now, going back to our PowerPoint. All right, so now this master document is going to help you to fulfill your responsibilities. Let me ask you, when you're thinking about your responsibilities and how you can delegate, what kinds of things do you think you can delegate to others? Go ahead and you can unmute yourself and tell me, what do you think you can delegate to others to have on your team? Yes?
Yeah. Hi, is my voice, do you hear my voice?
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much for allowing me to talk. And oh my God, it's a lot of information. And this is the first time I'm taking the PE role. So, you know, to me, this is so new. And I think what's really maybe kind of the most important thing that I'm really kind of seeing is to be more aware of the club needs and be more aware of the members' needs, and trying to put a plan that is gonna help the most. Because we have a lot of things. When I was trying to brainstorm those ideas, I mean, I have a lot of different activities and ideas, and we can do a lot of workshops. So the challenge that I'm kind of having right now is that to be more aware of everybody's needs, and to make a plan for the next 2-3 months, and kind of put some variety, because if I kept doing the same thing over and over, it's gonna be boring. And for the members, I know for a fact that especially if there's like new members, if you don't kind of have communication with them, if you're not able to get to know what they think, what they want, it's kind of gonna fall off later. So it is
Exactly.
difficult, but yeah, I'm loving the challenge, and I do hope that it's going to be a wonderful experience, and I'm really looking forward for you know, doing my job.
Wonderful, Ahmed. That's really great. Now, one of the ways that you can actually keep track of that is do this. All right. This is a document from Toastmasters International. You can even change it if you want. Instead of new member profile, make it member profile, so that you are getting everybody in there. And it's a good way to help the members of the club think about what they want out of the Toastmasters Club. What is their goal? And it may change throughout the years. So please, again, this form that I have shared, you cannot write on it, but I will share the document link with you, and it's also on Toastmasters International. Okay, this is there from Toastmasters International. So this is how you keep track. So send this out to people. Even better, sit down with individual members, and even if it's over the phone or a WhatsApp conversation, and maybe even not give this to them, but you fill it out while you're talking to them and asking them about their different information. So what is it that they want to achieve? And then you end up having all of this information there available for you. It's incredibly helpful. And honestly, you have got resources up. There's so many resources for this role, and it's just about finding them, putting them all in one place. That's what I found. They're kind of here and there and all over, and so that's why I have given you. I will give you at the end of this a document that has all the links to everything that I think can be very helpful to you in one location. All right, please also fill out the feedback form. We're not quite done. I have a little bit left. I'm moving slow. We got a slow start. So let me go back here and make sure that I share with you. Okay. All right, so when you are coming up with your action plan, you need to decide how you're going to fulfill your responsibility. And honestly, this is best done with the XCOM. Talking to your president, you need to be, as VPE, you need to be in close contact with your president and brainstorming different ways to how to do this. Who would be good members to bring into your committee? What kinds of things can you use and that's going to help you out, like the things that I'm sharing with you today. So basically, you're already starting out. You are attending this club officer training program. There is the whole club officers handbook. Read it. Take the time. I know it may seem like people don't like to read anymore, but you can find out amazing information. I'm going through this so fast, and there's so much information out there. Do the reading. Even if you go on to Leadership Central, you'll find that there are tutorials for each of the club officers. Make sure that you meet with the outgoing executive committee. If you have not already done so, meet with the outgoing VPE in particular, so that you can transfer the information. They should already have the information of the educational goals and at least where everybody is in the club in terms of their pathway and all of these things. And you want to meet with the current executive committee and make sure that you are going on the right track. So to get started, invite 1 to 3 members to serve on your educational committee. I would recommend 3 because basically because people cop out on you and they can, or maybe they're on vacation for a while, and sometimes you'll have one person helping and then they can't for a while. Things happen in our lives, right? We have work demands, family demands. So I would recommend not just having one person, but to have 3 people serve on your committee and meet with each of them and have regular meetings with them to discuss what you want them to do. Teach them how to do those things. Because even if you already know how to do it and you could do it faster in one particular moment, over the length of time, it's so much better to teach and to train others to do things, and it's going to relieve an enormous headache for you as you move on through the year. And you can even have a separate committee just for the contests if you want. Also, meeting with each member to discuss their educational goals, and that profile page is a great one to use. And basically that concludes my session here. Let me share with you the master document with all of the different links. Again, this is a view only copy, but you can very easily just go ahead and make a copy for yourself. And that way it has all of the links here. Now, one of the last things, actually, we're out of time for me. I wanted to be able to have time for your question and answers. So that's why I stopped working on the Google Doc. It seemed to have taken a lot more time than I wanted it to. Okay, so questions. Questions? Please raise your virtual hand or your
Yeah, I have a question if
real
it's
hand.
possible.
Sure, Ahmed.
Yeah, I have, like I said, I have a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I think I can do, but I'm kind of sometimes find it difficult to decide which is the best choice. Sometimes I put a fun session with an education session, and sometimes I think about workshops, and sometimes, like, I have a lot of things to do, I feel. But so what would you suggest in terms of, like, today we had a discussion with the officers in the club about making 3 physical meetings and having a 1 light meeting with a a small meeting, because we want to have we don't want to push the members too much. We want to have them to have a little bit of a break, but at the same time to be productive. So because as you know, the more you push, the more you're gonna put responsibilities. They're gonna feel, oh God, I don't want this, and I don't want to lose them. So yeah. So what would you suggest in terms of an idea, or to have the best way possible to moderate and have the meetings going on? I don't know if that's too general of a question, but
It is fairly general, but in general, that's completely up to your club. That's, by the way, I just shared the attendance form again for Diane. I think that's how you pronounce your name. But so Ahmed and all of you, it's up to your club and your club executive committee. What is it you want? What do your members need? What are they interested in? Every club is different. So really, it depends on what you want to do as a club. And there are lots of things, and you can try things out and let members know, I'm trying this out. I would like your feedback. What did you think about this activity? What did you think about this educational session? Would you like more of these? Please just get feedback from them. Okay, Farouk.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
You're very welcome.
Thank you,
Toastmaster DTM's standing. I just wanted to make an observation here that when you talked about the committee and the VP role, one of the things that sometimes I feel that the VPs miss out on an opportunity that they could make this a sort of an HPL project if they make it.
Oh, definitely.
Plan for that, and that will be helpful for them also because they're also leading the team. They're setting a target, and that's a difficult target sometimes to get 4 or 5 DCPs out of the 6 DCPs that you can get in education.
Definitely. Thank you, Toastmaster Farouk. It's exactly. It's a big HPL. It's a long-term HPL if you want to do that high performance leadership project, which you may need to do depending on the path that you are in. But it is very helpful. But with an HPL, it's more than that. You've got, you can have your executive committee as your guidance committee, and then you can have your own educational committee as your action committee. That is fantastic. It's a wonderful way to do it, and to strengthen your club, you can set the goal and decide what you want to accomplish from that. Okay, good. It's just that that committee needs to have, like, it's more broad. I would even suggest that maybe a contest committee would be a better HPL because it's a little narrower in focus. And whereas your educational committee has to have a lot of things going on and for a longer period of time. But again, it's how you set your mission and your vision for your high performance leadership project. All right, any other questions? Maria, you have your hand up? Maria,
actually, that was the previous hand, my previous hand. But I have a question. Like, for example, is there any like criteria, or it should be a sequence when you deliver a pathway or a project? Sorry, a project. Is there a sequence to follow, or is it okay to jump to the other project if she feel or he feels that it is suitable, that speech that she's going to deliver in that meeting?
The only, okay, the default answer is no. There is no particular order that they have to follow. They used to, but Toastmasters International opened it up. However, it is highly recommended that they follow the level 1, 2, 3, and 4, especially that they complete level 1 before they start jumping around. All right? Because level 1 is going to give them the basic, but again, it depends. For example, you have people like me who've already got their distinguished Toastmaster, and they're looking at, kind of picking and choosing. That's different. That's a different situation than a brand new member. If you've got a brand new member, I would not let them jump around until they finished level 1. But after that, especially when we're looking at the projects, the extracurricular projects that they've got in levels 3, 4, and 5, those things could be done at any time. And an HPL, quite honestly, could be done at any time, but it's better to do that closer towards your level 5, right? Because at that point in time, you've already learned the experience and the leadership skills that you need and able to pull that off. But again, it depends on the person. Maybe they're a manager in their job. Okay? Give people the opportunity to do these things when it'll best benefit them. And by using the Excel sheet that I gave you, it's going to help you keep track, even if they are doing it out of order. Okay, but again, that's up to you and your judgment and knowing who it is that your members are and whether or not that's a good idea or not. Abdurrahman, question? Abdurrahman, you have your hand up?
Yes, hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, just I want, if you don't mind, just I want to add something.
Sure.
Yeah, about what you just said. Actually, it's the why and every path that we have to start from level 1, because a lot of people, I told always, I'm telling my our members that in many clubs, actually Toastmaster is like a practice. We have to put that in our minds. You will need Toastmaster for your whole life, especially for like, I'm a TV broadcaster, or I'm a TV broadcaster, I'm a writer, working in stand-up, working in a lot of things. Actually, Toastmaster is like gym. You need gym for your body. So also you need gym for your brain. And Toastmaster is the right place for that. Every time we have to do the scratch, and you have to just warm up every time when we go to the gym. In Toastmaster and this pathway, we have to do the same.
Exactly. And the thing is, now, I mean, who is it?
That's all
Thank you so much. There was a comment here, I can't see the full name, but there are a lot of people that their whole focus for VPE is on the district, the Distinguished Club program points. I'm telling you, if you take the time to know your members and find out and help your members come up with their goals and help them achieve their goals, you won't need to worry about those points. Those points are just going to take care of themselves. If, however, you don't take the time to get to know your members and you don't help them in understanding and achieving their goals, not only will you struggle to get those Distinguished Club program points, you will also struggle to keep your members. And this is basically what so many clubs have. They've kind of lost focus, right? And we got all off track with COVID and things have been kind of crazy, right? But again, who is the most important person in the Toastmasters International program? The individual member. And we have to remember that and make sure that that member is getting the experience that is benefiting them. And that includes you as VPE, right? You don't want to kill yourself over all of this work. And that is why you are bringing in a committee, not just to train others, but to help relieve some of the pressure off of you, because you want to be able to enjoy the experience and learn as you are going through. You are learning a lot of leadership skills as you go through. Avoid the idea of, yeah, I can do that really quick. And it would take me twice as long to teach somebody else how to do it. Well, maybe that's true the first time, maybe even the second time, but the third time, nope, same amount of time. The fourth time, no, you don't have to even think about it. The fifth time, and think about how many times we have agendas. Teach somebody how to do the agenda. You know, get people involved. When you are involved, you stay with the program. If people are not involved, they don't stay around, right? I mean, because their goals aren't being met. They're not learning, they're not progressing. Yeah, any other questions? We are out of time basically, but I'm here until 7. So you are, please make sure that you did the feedback form. Please make sure that you did the attendance so that our moderator has shared it now a couple of times. But if you could just share it one more time for everybody, both of those forms, just to make sure everybody got them so that we know. I know this is like a info dump, really, because this role is a lot. You are the heart here. The heart of the club is the VPE. And if you can get it right and you can involve enough people in there, mashallah, you are going to just be fantastic. You're right. It will have an impact if you skip levels. But again, some of the electives that are there can be done at different levels, because a number of the electives that start in level 3, they are actually, a number of them are from the old Toastmasters program, and they are things that we were doing earlier on. But it depends on the individual member and their level of experience and confidence, and it also depends on what the project is, right? So again, highly encourage that they follow along in the project and each of the levels. But again, there is some flexibility for you. You are very, very welcome. I hope that this helped you a lot. I know a lot of people, when they first go into VPE, they just are like, how do I do all this stuff? Okie dokie. Any other questions? Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the session. Any other questions? No? All right then. I'm going to head out, and I will, by the way, I'm going to add on to, how many of you are interested in, you can just raise a virtual hand, how many of you are interested in a script for each of the meeting roles? If you're interested in that, it's a nice thing just to hand out to, okay, great. So I will add it back onto that one document with all of the links. So you can, please save that link. Let me do it again. Just so. Okay, so save this link and then check back tomorrow, because I'm going to do that tonight. I'll go in and I'll put in all of the meeting role scripts for you, the links to those. Okay, so it's super easy. You can just share it with your members. How do I do this role? Oh my God, well, here's a script. You will have to maybe make a few adjustments depending on whether your club is online, hybrid, or in person. All right, and maybe some adjustments that you do, but it's a basic template that you can do. And please don't forget to provide feedback. I highly appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. We're done.